All right, welcome back, Rage Nation. We got another video that we're doing for the YouTube channel. So this one, what we got in front of us, we're gonna be looking at Star Wars X-Wing. And this is version 2.0. Now, if you're like me and you played a lot of X-Wing when the first version was just awesome and people were having a lot of fun with it, this is kind of exciting because I heard a lot of people talking about how certain issues have been resolved, and got some friends out in the Midwest who are really enjoying this. It's starting to kick up a lot of interest in our local meta again. Our store had a box. This is the starter box for 2.0, and a lot of people are talking a lot of hype about this. So since my store carried it, I decided to buy it, and we'll see what the actual contents of this looks like. So this is the version 2.0 starter box. You can just see from the box, you have two TIE fighters and an X-Wing that come with it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back. So this is all your contents. So you get all the jargon and stuff on the left side, but you can see you get dice with it, both attacking and defending. You get the stands and everything that you need, the dials, cards, upgrades. You can even see, looks like they fixed the dials, which are cool. You get sticks for measuring. So this is a great starting point because you want at least one of these so you can get all the measuring tools, all the widgets that you need to play a game. You even get terrain with the asteroids. The only thing you don't get is you don't get a board. So you do have to kind of either buy a Star Wars playmat, or you can just use any 3x3 mat that you can just use your imagination on. Fantasy Flight, so you never know what you're going to get with Fantasy Flight, but X-Wing is probably, in my opinion, their best game. Well, one of them. I can't say best. There's a few that they have that are really good. All right, so just opening this up, you can see you got your actual models, which for pre-painted models, I would argue these are some of the better ones that you'll get kind of in all games. Looks like just some propaganda here. If you want some propaganda and some other filth from Fantasy Flight, there it is. So a lot of cool board games that Fantasy Flight will put out. All right. Some little information on how you can expand. You can get Slave 1. That's always a cool ship. I've never been a fan of the Y-Wing, but, you know, that is what it is. So, more cool propaganda. All right. Looks like we got a quick start rule set. Just gives you kind of like, okay, you got these three ships. How do you play? This is always great to see because you can just play it right out of the box. Won't get 100% of the rules probably, but it'll give you a real good start. This is amazing. Anytime you can buy a starter and they give you the rule book straight out of it, I'm always a big fan of. So always good to see that. Quick reference on the back, always good to see. I love when gaming companies kind of learn from bad decisions or bad games. Tight rule set, short book. Whenever you see a rule book this small, last thing I'll say, you either know it's a real tight rule set, like a game like Guild Ball, or you know there's a lot of holes. So I'll do some actual gameplay with this some other time, and we'll see which one it is. All right, so this is kind of like awesome. I love it when you see a game that has everything you're going to need to play it. So this is what I was talking about when they fixed the dials. So now all these maneuvers are actually visible to the pilot. So while I'm picking my maneuvers, I can actually see all the movements, so I don't have to turn through all of them and be like, oh, maybe I want to do, K-turn or, whatever. But it has all the movements on there, lets you know what your stress maneuvers are, lets you know what your good maneuvers are. And yeah, this is just awesome. I think there's a new force mechanic. So I don't know if the blue represents the force mechanic. We'll see. But these look straight. Got some numbers for that. Got all your pilots' names on here. Let's see here. So that's fine. Those are low pilot numbers. In X-Wing, the lower your pilot number, the worse, because that basically means that you move you move first but shoot last. So lower pilot skill is not good. Hey, you got Porkin. You do have Luke in this box, so that's cool if you like flying Luke. Let's see here. Any other good ones? No, these are all just these are all TIE fighter pilots, so these are kind of like your no-name no-name pilots. I always love, so when you play TIE Swarm, Academy pilots is always the one you see kind of the most, so that's I'm excited to do the TIE Swarm again. That was always my favorite to fly. You got your movement sticks, terrain, got everything like your focus, shields. That's cool to see. Cardboard's good quality. I like the cardboard. It's nice, thick, not gonna get destroyed. Other movement sticks. Your proof of purchase. I'll move that over there so you can kind of. Sorry, the light's a little. That's one thing we're gonna try to keep improving on. Get some better light quality for videos like this. All right, this is some things that I have no idea what this is. Couldn't tell you. These are kind of your placeholders. So if you need to proxy or you need to kind of like see if you can fly through a ship, this kind of holds your spot. Don't know what these are. These are kind of new to me. So we'll see. Not sure. Nice though. Like I said, good quality cardboard. Nice thick. Not going to break easily. So the contents of this box, we have a lot more. So looking at it, you can see you have your little plastic stands. I'll pull these out because I'll actually get the ships kind of up. Once again, good quality. Not going to go anywhere. God, I hate these tiny Ziploc bags. I'll put those together here in a little bit. Okay. So you got your damage deck. So when you are playing the game and you start taking damage from your enemy, your opponent, so you'll kind of shuffle these up, you'll flip them. It'll tell you kind of, this is after your shields. Dim this down a little bit. There we go. So you can see direct hit, fuel leak, damage engine. So this tells you kind of like what extra effects you take when you start taking damage. So this is a must-have. You got to have that. I did talk with a local, and I was talking to him about the damage deck, and he's like, "Yeah, they fixed some stuff. They made ones that weren't important. They fixed them, made them kind of relevant, and ones that were super bad if you got them, they got rid of those as well." Okay, we'll look at the dice here in a minute. Put that aside. Everything looks really solid in this starter. Got your cards. I'll give a quick kind of overview of this just for people that want to see them. So you have your pilots. So once again, you have your pilot skill. The higher your pilot skill, the better. So if you have a higher number, you get to move last but shoot first, which is always good in this game. Just kind of goes. You got your numbers. Really cool. Tells you what actions you can take on the left side or your right side here. I just like the art on these two. When I played in first edition, they had cool, like you go to events and they'd have cool alternate art cards where it'd be like full art, and they looked really cool. I really enjoyed them. Ooh, are these did they change the upgrades? Let's take a look at this. I think these are your upgrades. They are. So these are cool because back in the day, in first edition here, you had these tiny upgrade cards. They were actually the same size as these. So your upgrade cards would have been that size. Looks like they upgraded them though, so you have these cool kind of flashy cards. Which are really cool. I like it. I dig that. Well, cool. That's a pleasant surprise for me. I didn't know that they made these cards bigger. So really cool. So cards look really nice, really slick. Okay, you have your distance, your rangefinder there. See if they're in first, second, or third, because you get bonuses the closer they are. Also how far you can shoot, so that's really good. Certain ships can also shoot further. All right, now the probably most important part are the models. So looking at our models, TIE fighters, pretty basic. So when you look at them, you're going to get them like this. And then you're just going to put them on their flight stand. Just like this. There we go. So they only go a certain way because they face forward. Pretty solid. Let's see what the X-Wing looks like. This is, I don't know, to me they got a little too cute on this. So if you look, the wings kind of open and they close, which a lot of people might nerd and gush over. But when you look at them, you can see the middle of this. That's kind of worrisome for me as a person who like models, because that's kind of like a fail point for a model if you ask me. So what I'm probably going to do with mine is I'm probably going to stick some glue right in between there, and I'm going to pop these open and leave them open. So mine is not going to open and close, just because I'm worried about that kind of like as a faulty point to the model. So that's just me. Okay, and then the last one we'll throw on the flight stand just to get a good look at all three of them. Another thing that's cool about the starter is you can get the ships, get the stuff, and this is like your own little carrying case here for your starter. So we got there we go. You got your 2 TIE fighters, chasing after Luke Skywalker. Got your dice. Got your cards, rangefinder. Let's go ahead and pop these out. So generally, this is all of your content of the box. So it's a good deal. It's $40. You get 3 models, which generally you'd be like, okay, that's not really worth it. I think in first edition, you could buy a pack of a ship for like, I don't know, is 12, 15 bucks, which is a good deal because you got the cards, you got that, and you got the stand and everything else, which is a pretty good deal for buying a ship. So I like that. I do know that in this new edition, if you had the old ships, you can actually buy these conversion kits. And they also have new boxes that they came out for like TIE fighters that you can just buy the new box with the new cards and you're ready to go. So I'm really excited about this. I'm going to give it a fair crack here in a little bit with a friend. I'm going to get a demo, learn the adjustments of the new rules, and kind of learn how to play. Generally speaking, though, it's like you roll your attack dice. Hey, I had a focus. I'm going to spend it. So now we got to hit. Roll your evade dice. That's actually pretty good. Hey, focus, spin it. TIE fighters are jerks. Dice are solid. Dice are solid. That's actually why I like this game. A lot of times you can set it up where the dice don't screw you over as much. Sometimes these TIE fighters just don't die. If you get rolling hot with these evades, they can actually be really hard to kill. But man, when you hit them, they explode. TIE fighter is a little more tanky, a little more durable as a fighter goes. But man, it's telling you, if you haven't played X-Wing before ever, this feels like a dogfight when you're playing this game. That's why I think so many people love the game, because it really feels like you're flying and you're outmaneuvering. There's a lot of guessing on what your opponent's doing because you set dials at the same time and you reveal them as the turn goes, and it goes by order of pilot skill. So it's not just you go do your entire turn, then I go do my entire turn. It's straight off, what did you build as a list and how did that kind of end up working? Now, I gotta ask my friend to make sure. I think he said that it used to be 100 points that you would build a list. I think that got bumped up to 150. So I'm kind of curious to see if that's actually true or not. I could look in the rule book, but I'm not going to spend the time at the moment. But man, I'm really excited to play this. This looks like a real fun version of X-Wing. From what I'm hearing and just what I've seen from a couple of demos I've watched in my local area. And everything in this box looks solid. The only thing that I had an issue with is just the X-Wing, and I would just glue that just to kind of make it solid where it's not going to fall apart or the wings just kind of just flop. So TIE fighter models are solid though. They're not going anywhere. A lot of the ships are the same build that they had in the first edition, so I know those ships were solid. So the models aren't an issue in the game for me. Once again, it's just a quick game, fun to play. If you love like me for Star Wars, this was always the cool part, is the flying the ships. So I'm especially excited to actually get in and play this, and it's going to play really well on the camera. This is definitely one of the games that I know we're going to do some live streaming of and do some gameplay of, just because it's that fun and that engaging to watch, especially when you have two people really good at the game. So let us know what you think in the comments. Let us know if you are going to plan on trying X-Wing. If you play X-Wing, let us know what some of your favorite ships are. I know in first edition I used to run, I obviously like the TIE Swarm, so I did a lot of, they called them the Crack Swarm back in the day. But as far as Rebellion goes, I loved playing the fat, chewy Millennium Falcon build with Biggs and then one of the Z95s. So that was my go-to list when I was playing Rebellion. And then obviously I played the TIE Swarm when I was playing that. Also the Echo, the little Phantom TIE fighters, those were cool ships. I used to love playing Echo, where instead of doing a normal barrel roll, you could do like one of these huge just right wing turn barrel rolls, and it was just really cool to see. So let us know what you think. Leave some comments. We're excited to play this, and until next time, make sure that you roll these dice, throw some salt, and we're putting the content out, baby.